Hello guys, do you know about ISIS? How it comes into existence, one of the most notorious extremist groups in the world, came into existence? Let's go back to the early 2000s. A key player, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, founded Al-Qaeda in Iraq, or AQI. Known for their brutal tactics, AQI and Zarqawi became infamous for their violent sectarian targeting, especially against Shia Muslims. If you are new in this channel, please subscribe the channel for more informative videos. Let's start fast forward to 2003. The US-led invasion of Iraq topples Saddam Hussein's regime, but in its wake, it leaves a power vacuum and exacerbates sectarian tensions. AQI skillfully capitalizes on these divisions, seeking to undermine the newly formed Shiite-led government and ignite sectarian conflict. It was a time of turmoil, a time ripe for exploitation by those with a ruthless agenda, and AQI, with Zarqawi at its helm, was ready to seize this opportunity. Thus, the stage was set for the rise of ISIS, a group that would take advantage of regional instability and sectarian divisions. But how did ISIS grow from a regional insurgency to a global jihadist movement? You may wonder. The answer lies in the chaos and conflict of the Syrian civil war that began in 2011. This tumultuous period provided fertile ground for the group, then known as Al-Qaeda in Iraq, to stretch its tentacles beyond Iraq's borders and into Syria. It was here that the group metamorphosed into what we now know as ISIS. With its new identity, the group's aspirations soared. The turning point came in 2014 when Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the group's leader, declared the establishment of a caliphate. This wasn't just a change in title, but a profound shift in the group's ambitions. No longer content with being a regional insurgency, ISIS now eyed a global stage. The extremist ideology that ISIS espoused played a crucial role in this shift. Grounded in a radical interpretation of Sunni Islam, the group sought to impose its version of Islamic law in areas under its control. It viewed all other forms of Islam, as well as other religions, as heretical, leading to rampant persecution of religious and ethnic minorities. ISIS didn't just want to control territory, it wanted to control minds. It actively promoted global jihad, using propaganda and social media to inspire individuals from around the world to carry out acts of terrorism in their own countries. ISIS's declaration of a caliphate and its extremist ideology marked a new phase in its history, one characterized by increasing violence and international terrorism. So, what happened to ISIS and why does it continue to pose a threat today? In the mid-2010s, ISIS was at the peak of its power, with significant territorial gains in Iraq and Syria, including major cities such as Mosul and Raqqa. The group ran a self-declared caliphate, enforcing a harsh interpretation of Islamic law and committing widespread atrocities. It funded its operations through various means, including extortion, oil smuggling, and kidnapping for ransom. However, this reign of terror would not go unchallenged. A global coalition, led by the United States, was formed to combat ISIS. This coalition carried out airstrikes and provided support to local forces fighting against the group. The tide began to turn against ISIS, and by 2017, the group had lost its de facto capital of Raqqa. Yet the fall of Raqqa was not the end of ISIS. The group adapted to its loss of territory by reverting to guerrilla warfare tactics, including suicide bombings and hit-and-run attacks. It continues to carry out insurgent activities in Iraq, Syria, and other parts of the world, exploiting power vacuums and local grievances to maintain a presence. More insidiously, ISIS has managed to keep its ideology alive. Even as its physical caliphate crumbled, the group's potent ideology continued to inspire individuals and groups globally. Through propaganda and social media, it has recruited individuals from around the world to carry out acts of terrorism in their home countries. This virtual caliphate is a continued source of concern for security agencies worldwide. In essence, the threat of ISIS is twofold. On one hand, there are the physical remnants of the group, which continue to carry out attacks and destabilize regions. On the other hand, there's the ideological threat, whereby the group's extremist beliefs continue to inspire acts of terrorism globally. While ISIS's territorial control has been greatly reduced, its ideological influence and the security challenges it poses persist. Despite significant setbacks, ISIS remains an ongoing concern for the international community, underlining the need for continued vigilance and united action.